नेक्स्ट गोयचे इलेक्शन असेंब्लीचे आता 29 इज इट ट्रू?
आमकां पळय सद्या लड्डू फुटले आसतले आमच्या सरकाराक, तांकां आनी 2 वर्सां बोनस मेळ्ळ्या भाशेन घालात आनी गोंया.
You're making an
Okay,
allegation.
let him
No,
finish
you're
it.
making an allegation. Do you think that the guy who's coming from outside as a star campaigner to talk and sort of excite the people to vote, are people voting because of that star campaigner?
No.
No, they are voting. No.
No. So Narendra Modi was never a vote puller according to you.
I believe people will vote for Savio because Savio is the person who's going to solve their problem. That's what I'm saying.
So you mean to say if there is one nation, one election, Savio will get elected in March?
I think he should.
नमस्कार, येवकार तुमकां आयच्या कार्यावळीन. सध्या केंद्र सरकारान आनी केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडळान एक निर्णय घेतिल्लो आसा, तो म्हणजे वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन, म्हणजे एक राष्ट्र आनी एक वेंचणूक, म्हणजे सगळी कडेन असेंब्लीच्यो आनी पार्लमेंटाच्यो इलेक्शनां एका वेळार जातली. आतां ह्या निर्णयाक लागून राजकीय वर्तुळान वेगवेगळ्यो आर्ग्युमेंट्स जाता, डिस्कशन जाता, आनी तशेंच एक डिस्कशन करपा खातीर, आर्ग्युमेंट्स न्ही आनी डिबेटूय न्ही, डिस्कशन करपा खातीर आमी अशे 2 फुडाऱ्यांक आपयल्ले आसा जांचे नाव कॉमन आसा. बोथ आर सावियोज. वी हॅव सावियो रॉड्रिगेस
Thank you.
रिप्रेझेंटींग भारतीय जनता पार्टी अँड सावियो कुतिन्हो रिप्रेझेंटींग काँग्रेस पार्टी. सो आय विल स्टार्ट विथ यू. वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन. एक सगळ्यान सकाळच्यान प्रत्येक जण विचारता, नेक्स्ट गोयचे इलेक्शन असेंब्लीचे आता 29 इज इट ट्रू?
Well, I can't comment on that right now, but let me tell you the logic behind why there is a need for one nation, one election. And this is a topic that has been debated over the last several years. Now, if you look at the expenditure that happened between 1951 to 1952, where there was a 68 phase election, we spent rupees 10.5 crores at that time. If you look at 2019 elections, according to the Center for Media Studies, we spent 50,000 crore in that election at that point of time. The estimated spend in 2024, according to the Center of Media Studies, is rupees 1 lakh crore on elections itself, and that only the Lok Sabha election, right? So what makes it important for us to understand that while the politics around the issue will continue, opposition parties will have their say, opposition parties might even go to court. But if you ask me as an analyst or somebody who looks at the issue in a more minute manner, I would look at the cost escalations that are happening for
No,
conducting.
are you supporting it? You're supporting
Of
being a
course.
BJP leader.
I'm supporting one nation, one election.
Being a BJP leader.
Absolutely.
Not as Savio Rodrigues.
As Savio Rodrigues and a BJP leader.
So
both.
तुमकां म्हणजे पैसे वाटोवपा खातीर हे सगळें करता अशें?
No, I think logically that if you look at it from a very cost effective manner, by keeping all elections to happen at one time, you are able to pool in your resources together. See, look at it, no? 2019 we were 50,000 crore. 2024 Lok Sabha election is estimated to be 1 lakh crore. So you have spent 50,000 crore for an election. Now, if you were to combine it together, let's assume for a moment that cost would have gone up to say 1,50,000 crores or maybe 2 lakh crores. You are able to conduct the assembly as well as the Lok Sabha elections at one time. So you pool in all the resources. So the initial thought of this was, how do you bring about a cost rationalization to conducting of elections? One. Number two, every time there is an election, whether it's an assembly or whether it's a Lok Sabha election or whether it's the normal local level elections, there's always a model code of conduct that happens. The model code of conduct does not allow for continuance of governance in a larger and more effective manner, because there are certain restrictions that have been placed on the government in part. So let's say only emergency based decisions can be taken by the government. Now, if you look at it, now we've gotten out of Lok Sabha in 2024. We suddenly have an election happening in Jammu Kashmir. We're going to have an election happening in Haryana. In February, you're going to have the Maharashtra elections, the Delhi elections happening.
So in that particular states there is model code of conduct, not in other
Correct.
states.
So
Other
the
states are spared from.
state, even if you take Goa for example, Goa had elections, Goa had Lok Sabha. You had, again, over a period of time, you have the model code of conduct coming in. So at some point of time, the development process of the country holistically gets impacted
Okay, I
by
will
that.
ask Savio,
Yeah.
being a Congress leader.
Definitely, we are not for this concept of having one election, एक election एक
One nation, one
one
election.
nation, one main म्हणल्यार कितें आतां एटलीस्ट एक डिस्प्यूट हांव पयलोच करपा सोदता जेन्ना तो म्हणटा की एक 1 लाख क्रोर्स स्पेंड केला म्हणटा सो आमकां खबर आसा करप्शन बीजेपीचे कितले सुमार आहा ते आनी हिंग एग्जाम्शन दिवपाक शकत ना आमी हे हांगा सुद्दां करप्शन करून ते
पयशे खाल्ले म्हणटा तूं
100% आनी तेका लागून ते 1 लाख क्रोराचे पळय हो एक बाजू जालो सो यू कॅनॉट जस्टिफाय की एक्सपेंडिचर सुबेज जाता म्हण हें करपाक पयलीं
These are
म्हणटाले
computed figures of Center for Media Studies.
Exactly, whatever it may be.
Center for Media Studies is a reputed. No, it's a reputed. You're making an allegation.
let him finish.
No, you're making an allegation. When you make an allegation of corruption, you can look at the corruption in Congress as well.
No.
But that's not the point.
Let me complete.
Center for Media Studies is
Okay, let him.
I'm trying to tell you when it is well known that BJP government all sorts of expenditures are escalated, exaggerated sort of. So don't give them exemption in this sort of expenditure. That is one part. Secondly, now when you say one nation, one election, जाल्यार पयले सदांच आमकां खबर आसा जे आमचे गोंयचे इलेक्शन 27 ड्यू आसा आनी ते एज पर आतां जे आयल्ले आसा ते 29 म्हणटात म्हळ्यार आमकां पयले सदां लड्डू फुटले आसतले आमच्या सरकाराक जे आतां लुटप चालू आसा सामकें व्हड प्रमाणान सगळें आख्खें गोंयच डिस्ट्रॉय करपाक तांकां आनी 2 वर्सां बोनस मेळ्ळ्या भशेन घालात आनी गोंया सो हें कशें हँडल करतले
तर तो म्हणटा वन थिंग प्लीज क्लॅरिफाय आय कम टू यू सावियो आमचे 27 नेक्स्ट इलेक्शन जातले काय 29 27 or 29?
Well, I can't confirm or deny whatever you're saying because honestly, there's been no decision taken on that, from my understanding. See I keep coming. He's not answered a very imperative question, which is what I.
He was coming to that. Okay, let him finish.
He's gone to the fact that we are corrupt, and that's his allegation, right? But let me give you.
I try to justify. I'm counter your justification when
I'm
the
not
expenditure factor is coming. Earlier expenditure factor was brought. तुम्ही expenditure म्हणून सांगले EVM म्हणून हाडले समजला टाइम सेव करपा EVM म्हणून हाडले 40 दीस तुम्ही लायतात इलेक्शनात 5 6 7 पेज करून सो तुम्ही दाखयता एक जाता बलते नोटबंदी एक आसा प्रत्येक आहा ते ड्रीम्स दाखयतात बीजेपीक अशें बरें जातलें सगळें बरें जातलें पण कांयच ना
तुका
फायनल
विश्वास ना बरें जातले
नाच विश्वास ना आमकां कित्याक दिसते का पडना न्हू असलें
मॉडेल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट लागता
No, one second. Let me answer that cost factor. So the Center for Media Studies is a legitimate organization that has computed data that has been put forward by the candidates, by the political parties all across the country, right? So all political parties have their own expenditure. You would have had the Congress as well. I don't have the Congress expenditure with me right now. There is a holistic expenditure that is put. Now, are you telling me that you see that the expenditure, because at the end of the day, you can talk everything about politics and that's fine. I am asking you, how is running 2 elections going to reduce the cost on the exchequer? Because that money is coming from you and me anyway to run it. So tell me how.
आम कितें सांगपा सोदता कॉस्ट ऑफ कंडक्टिंग इलेक्शन्स एकूच मुद्द्याचेर तूं हें सगळें सिस्टम चेंज करपाक शकना आज सांगपा
Why not?
ना कित्याक सांगता
Because you're spending 1 lakh crore.
1 lakh crore करूं पळय आम कितें सांगपा सोदता जी सिस्टम आसा एकदां तूं 5 वर्सां सांगता आज एक इलेक्शन केलें तूं 5 वर्सां पासून तूं कोणा हेंच करपाक शकना क्वेश्चन करपाक शकना आनी 5 वर्सां रावच पडलें तुका ह्या दोनी बाबतीन सो हिंगाय बी पळोवपा जाय
सो तुजें म्हणणें की मदी जेन्ना इलेक्टेड वॉट इज ट्रायंग टू से इज दॅट इन बिटवीन देर इज इलेक्शन देन देर इज ऑल्सो यू कॅन क्वेश्चन दी गव्हर्मेंट की तुका मतां जाय ह्या असेंब्ली इलेक्शनाक हांव धरतलो मागीर म्हाका परत चान्स मेळटा लोकसभेक तुका मतां जाय तुका हांव धरतलो
सो एक चान्स एक प्रेशर हें उरता गव्हर्मेंटाचेर
चॅक एक उरता
की बाबा तूं
let him answer.
No, so your fear is absolutely correct. Okay, and I'm not disputing your fear. Tukite Santa, that if there is one government during the assembly time and there is a government that is not performing, you can teach that government a lesson in Lok Sabha, right? But isn't the flip side not applicable to the Congress as well? Let's say, for example, today everybody is saying that with one nation, one election, if there's a wave, one person goes in one side. Now let's assume in 2029, when you have the next Lok Sabha elections, if there is a wave that is not pro-BJP, and it swings to the India alliance side, wouldn't it not benefit you?
तुला का आता tempt करता
Yeah.
Not trap because I'm asking logic.
Tempting, not trapping.
Finally,
You're
आम्ही
tempting him saying
आम्ही-
that
no, आम्ही पार्टी एजर म्हणणं आम्ही लोकांची हितान उलयतात की वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन कित्याक
So how are the people? So tell me, you're saying people are disturbed. Tell me how.
Exactly, but suppose
me
काँग्रेसाचा
how,
गव्हर्नमेंट
no?
काँग्रेसाचा
You want them to come out
midway,
every certain
Okay,
month.
let him finish. Yeah.
मिड वे तुका एटलीस्ट एक प्रेशर उरता सो तांकां परफॉर्म करच पडटा लोकां खातीर लोकांची हिता खातीर सो नाजाल्यार नेक्स्ट इलेक्शनात कितें त्रास
So there is, see, Savio, you have also agreed. You look at me, I am the anchor. Otherwise, it looks like you are anchoring the debate. Okay, so तो सांगता ते यू ऑल्सो एग्री की मदीं मदीं जेन्ना इलेक्शन्स आसता पळय तेन्ना विचारपाक शकता आमी तुमी करप्शन करता तुमी मतां मारची ना आनी यू हॅव सीन की आतां फाटल्या लोकसभा इलेक्शनात तुमकां जे एक्सपेक्टेड आशिल्लें तशें जावना 400 पार बी जावना सो तातूंत तुमकां मातशें हें जालें की ओके आतां आमी सारकें परफॉर्म करपा जाय नाल्यार 27 आमकां एखादे वेळ प्रॉब्लेम आसूं शकता पूण हे जो चॅक्स एंड बॅलन्सीस आसा पळय त्यो सगळ्यो वतल्यो.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm trying to tell you. See, what people are saying is that this is a national party agenda, okay, and the regional parties will be finished. What I think we are progressing as a country towards is that regional parties are going to strengthen while it seems.
No. I'm on another. I'm talking
coming
about
to the
checks
same.
and balances
The
on the
same
government.
checks and balances I'm talking about. What happens is today, let's say you want assembly, and you have Lok Sabha going on at the same time. Your checks and balances at the same time is based on what? Today, if the checks and balances were right for the BJP during the Lok Sabha election, because we had so much of the MLAs, we should have won the Lok Sabha election. No, we did not, because the checks and balances corrected it based on what you're saying. The same checks and balances you're talking to benefits them as well. So why are we thinking that they will be negative
The
for them?
duration of checks and balances, whether it is for Congress or BJP, irrespective of the political parties.
आम्ही लोकां हितान
Right? In some places like Karnataka, there is Congress.
Correct.
तांकांय भंय आसतलो की बाबा चॅक्स एंड बॅलन्सीस आपण घालना नेक्स्ट टायम येवचे ना सो ड्युरेशन जे एक 2.5 वर्सां आसताले पयलीं 2.5 years आसताले सध्या 5 वर्सां जाल्ले आसा आनी सो that is one aspect. Another, let him finish. He had some points.
Please.
सेकंडली आतां जेन्ना वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन आमी उलयता समजला एक आतां आमकां हें जाल्यार दिसता की हें खंय तरी डायवर्ट करपाक हें सगळें
कितें डायवर्ट करपाक
एटेन्शन डायवर्ट करपाक कितलेशे इश्यूज आसात करप्शनाचेर ऑलरेडी सांगला ते भशेन अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट ही सगळी इश्यूज जे डायवर्ट करपाक हें सडनली हाडलें
अनेक इश्यू जालो आतां
हाजेर दवरपाक लोकांक बिजी आनी तें विसरपाचें समजलें आतां सेकंडली जेन्ना आमी कोणाचो टर्म कंप्लीट जायना आमी म्हणटात आमी गोंयचे उलयल्या आतां हेर स्टेटीनी जे सपोज तांचो टर्म 29ची पय बेगीन काबार जायना तेजे उपरांत जाता आफ्टर 29 सपोज सोंपता जाल्यार आनी जे तांच्याच एलायन्सान आसतले आसातय बी तांकां तुमी हें करतले आय मीन डिजॉल्व करतले असेंब्ली तो एक प्रश्न आहा सेकंडली जेन्ना तूं वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन उलयता समजला जाल्यार त्या टायमार कितलीशी आतां एमेंडमेंट्स करपा आसा आनी ताका कायदे बदलपाक उरल्या सो हें जातलें तुमच्या त्या पिरियडा भितर कित्याक तितली तुका मेजॉरिटी जाय पडटा हें सगळें एप्रूव करून घेवपाक
सो तें अजून एप्रूव जावना कॅबिनेट
सो हें सगळें कित्याक लागून म्हणटा की हें तेमकां हे जे मेन वायटल इश्यूज आसा जे आमचे नेशन हें जाता सफर जाता ते डायवर्ट करपाक हें खंय तरी मदीं हाडला सडनली
No. I don't agree with it because we primarily spoke about one nation, one election, the last term as well, when we got elected. Again, I'm trying to make you understand. You're talking and saying you're talking in the interest of the people. Is the interest of the people to be able to come out each time to go out and vote for people and then to be stuck in the process of the model code of conduct where their works don't get clear? Why are we not looking at the larger picture? The larger picture here is that does it benefit the people who can go and vote and also decide simultaneously who they want, whether it is from a center or a state?
No, no, but आता है
Because
ना
you're saying that you want to teach a particular party that's not performing a lesson, and because of a combined election you will not be able to. Please understand that people don't elect people based on their parties but their performances. That
No,
is
no,
why
one-
Goa is a
one-
classic
ना
example.
मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट आज मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट कित्याक हें जाता प्रॉब्लम जाता कित्याक तुमी 40-60 डेज लांबयता इलेक्शन
हा तो म्हणटा की
मेन
फेज
प्रॉब्लम पयलीं सुद्दां
टू
तुमी
मेनी
एक सिस्टम
फेजेस
सिस्टम तयार करा की विथिन अ शॉर्टेस्ट पिरियड इलेक्शन जावचे मागीर
How
मॉडल
do
कोडाचें हेंच जालें
I agree with him.
I'm asking you one question which Congress has been asking and also opposition has been asking. ते म्हणटा की तुमकां जम्मू काश्मीराक इलेक्शन घेता पूण महाराष्ट्रान इलेक्शन 4 स्टेटीचे टोटल घेवपाक तुमचे कडेन एकठांय जायना.
Well, I
So-
don't have an answer to why they've not taken it for Maharashtra. But what I can tell you, when we went into the Lok Sabha election, I also agreed that we should bring it into a shorter phase election rather than a long phase election. Why? Because the patience of people to be continuously in that energy for the election fades out after a period of time, and that was something that was clearly evident in this long election. So I agree with him on that. In fact, my suggestion to the government is to have a short phase election. But having said that, let's assume for a moment now, if we take the assembly elections, which has its own timelines, you take the Lok Sabha elections that has its own timelines, and we combine that together and are able to ensure that we conduct the elections at the shortest time collectively. Why should we have a problem with it?
What one question which I want to ask you.
पळय टोपरी झबली माणे सगळे हाडल्यात हां हे तांदूळ सामके पौश्टीक भुरग्याक बरे आनी हे मुगो तेल कालूच घेवन आयला दुकानांतल्यान
मम्मा तू इतल्या पयसल्यान हें घेवन येयला
मागीर म्हाका तुमची काळजी ना तर राव गो हांव तुका कितें तरी खावपाक करता
हागे
पळय गो शी पाड पडू हांचे कसलो सावार आयला देव जाणा कितले आशेन हाडिल्ले हांवें सगळे
मम्मा तू चड चिंतू नाका राव हे पळय सगळ्यान शुद्ध पंचामृत जे दिता शुद्धता आणि पौष्टिकतेची हमी आणि त्याच वांगडा ही वेगवेगळी शुद्ध तेलां आणि बरेच प्रॉडक्ट्स
अशें
जशी आवयची माया जायना कमी पंचामृता दिता शुद्धतेची हमी सुपर एक्स्ट्रा लॉंग बासमती रायस पंचामृता फोर्टिफाइड चक्की फ्रेश आटा प्रीमियम लॉंग क्वालिटी बासमती राइस हिमालयन पिंक सॉल्ट वैरायटी ऑफ कोल्ड प्रेस ऑयल्स पंचामृता
रिजनल पार्टीज असता पळय आमच्यो त्यो ओवर शेडो जातल्यो बिकॉज जेन्ना लोकसभा इलेक्शन जाता तेन्ना स्मॉलर पार्टीज रिजनल पार्टीज तांकां तितली स्पेस मेळना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल नरेंद्र मोदी वील कॅप्चर इमॅजिनेशन ऑफ एंटायर इंडिया. सो whether you like it or you don't like it, wherever I go I'll see Narendra Modi posters. You have huge money to put in to print those posters, but regional parties will die down eventually, and this was the fear raised by even Vijay Sardesai, if I am not wrong.
See, let me tell you my understanding of it as an analyst. Regional parties were always under threat by national parties. If you look at Congress, for that matter, when Congress made its roots in Goa, there was Congress shadow everywhere. You had MGP for some time initially. What happened to the MGP, the regional party? The national party took over. So the problem of national parties is not a BJP issue. It was an issue with any national party that has come in. Let's look at Aam Aadmi Party today. No, the Aam Aadmi Party has come into Goa. It has managed to get 2 seats, which even the regional parties in Goa were not able to do, right? Because they have the machinery to spend money, they have that machinery to bring people together. They're used to it. They have an election machinery along with them, not the regional parties. So today, if we have to push for regional parties, then regional parties must be able to have the windfall of the people within the state itself.
No, my argument is, is that there will be no level playing field. For example, BJP, right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, BJP, its allies, up this thing. काँग्रेस राष्ट्र फ्रॉम काश्मीर टू कन्याकुमारी आसा म्हणजे बारीक बारीक रिजनल पार्टीज आसा फॉर एक्झाम्पल रिव्होल्युशनरी गोवन पार्टी लायक तांचो स्पेसूच मेळपाचो ना बिकॉज दिस इज बीग अँड इट इज बियॉन्ड देअर कंट्रोल.
हे आतां आमी फक्त गोंयचे उलयता आमी पार्टीज, नॅशनल लेवलाचे रिजनल पार्टीज आसा.
जे हांकां दीस पीपल टू दे सपोर्ट टू फॉर्म द गव्हर्नमेंट.
सारकें. सो तांचो हें जाय फाल्यां 50% ऑफ द स्टेट्स हॅव टू सपोर्ट दीस, इफ आय एम नॉट मिस्टेकन.
Yes.
50% of the states have to support this. Only then they can move forward. So suppose 50% त्याच काबार जावपा तांकां खबर आसा, त्यांची पार्टी वायप आवट जातली, तुका दिसता ते हें करताले?
Then why are you worried?
No,
That's what I'm asking.
worried म्हळ्यार कितें हांव पयलो आम पयलोच हें
No, you should be worried.
No, we're not. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because the intent
Since
is
you are not worried, he is worried.
हांव पयल्याच कितें सांगलां, हें अटेन्शन डायवर्ट करपाक म्हण हो एक जुमला आनी एक
म्हणजे जावचें ना म्हणटा तूं.
मोदी सरकाराचो
जावचें ना म्हणटा
जे
तूं.
My
क्रुशल
friend,
इश्यूज आसा
the
ते ताजेर
job-
अटेन्शन
the job of the government-
हांगा घातल्या.
the job of the government is to work towards what is in the interest of the
No,
nation.
interest of people.
Will you
also was
be
in the
able
interest of
to
people.
garner support of 50% of states?
Alpesh Bab,
Why
interest
should I
of the
give-
people was also in Notbandi. So many dreams they gave us. 15 lakh म्हणून सांगलं लोकांक साम कितले फुलयले.
No, I'm sorry, that's a misquote.
इंटरेस्ट दाखयतात.
That is a
हो आनीक
misquote.
interest
Can you
दाखयतात.
please show me? Can you please show me the video where you're mentioning this?
हांव इतले सर्क्युलेट जाता.
No, I'm sorry. I don't believe in fake news.
I'm asking you.
I don't believe in fake news, and you shouldn't also.
You don't believe two things. Is कि Baba regional parties will be wiped out. Do you believe
No, I
this?
don't think regional parties will. Be
How
wiped out.
how it,
I believe regional parties that have strong regional control in the regions will stay. Is DMK going to be wiped out? Tell me. Is TRS? Is the ones over there going to be wiped out?
I'm talking about smaller regional parties.
The smaller regional parties in the game of a-
वायप आउट जावपा सेपरेट. महाराष्ट्र कशें केलें कुडके तर तसले जावपा आसा. हे भाशेन करतले ते तांकां.
तुकडे.
If they don't like the Congress, if they don't like the Congress, don't blame them. If you can't keep your people happy.
सपोज नो कॉन्फिडन्स एक स्टेटीन जालो आनी हें जालें परतून आनी फॉर्मेशन जायना हांगा असेंब्ली जाली, मागीर कितें करपाचें? तें रावपाचें प्रेसिडेंट रूल घेवन
Answer this.
टील द नेक्स्ट 5 वर्सां. हें कशें?
Answer this.
No,
No, what he
No,
says
no.
that if there is no confidence motion against certain government, there's a hung assembly, which happens many a times.
correct.
Then what? Are you going to wait with president's rule till the next
Next
election comes?
No, I think there will be a mechanism to deal with such a situation. However, that mechanism has not passed the scrutiny that's required. What has happened right now is for the government's intent to be made known, and that is what the cabinet's decision is all about. The cabinet's decision will come to the parliament. The parliament will have to weigh the pros and cons of all these questions, and then they'll take a decision.
Parliament, you have
2/3
majority.
जाय. No, 2/3 जाय.
You require 2/3.
You have Lok Sabha, you have Rajya Sabha. We have the process that is there. Allow for the parliament to take a decision, no?
सत्य रावता कोणा आनी कोणा फोडून हाडपा.
No, but
We
do
don't
you
have to
support?
do that.
Do you support?
You see, let me ask him a question. Why do people leave anybody in any relationship? You were once with the Congress. You were with you're independent on your own. Why did you do that? Because you had certain purposes. I'm not saying it's
Okay, you are also answering on this.
right.
behalf.
No, he would have had a purpose. In much the same way, any political party who wants to associate with BJP, why should I close my doors if we are not having a conflict with each other?
No, here तुमको हे association.
What about regional issues? Let's not go away from this particular discussion. Regional issues. When you discuss about parliament elections, usually we don't discuss state issues. We discuss regional.
Now that is a very good question.
So what will happen to regional issues?
So, most national parties, and I'm coming back to the examples in Goa because Goa is a classic case. Regional parties were the controllers of the future of Goa till you had Congress surge that happened. Then you have the BJP surge that has happened. And in a little while, you might see the Aam Aadmi Party surge happening, and they will be eating into the Congress votes. Okay? But you didn't see the TMC surge, right? Because people were not interested in TMC, and that's one of the reasons why you left them, right? So the point is, yes, smaller regional parties will get affected if they don't have a clout in that region. Why can you not? Why hasn't BJP, my party, not able to do well in Tamil Nadu? It had a very promising leader.
No, I'm talking about issues.
Right. Again, because they did not, the people in Tamil Nadu did not at that point of time have that confidence in the Lok Sabha candidates that were there, and therefore they did not get that kind of votes to win. So issues are regional. Regional centric issues need to be dealt with by the party leaders from those national parties also. Are you saying that Sadanand Tanwade, who's now the Rajya Sabha member, besides dealing with these issues in the center, has he not raising issues related to the state?
But these issues will not
electorate,
on the
when-
agenda when it comes to one nation, one election. Because
Of course they would.
specific, if there is Goa election, you concentrate on Goa issues, Goa parties, and secondly, all people come from across the states or across the parties. Sorry, come and then they campaign here. They talk about Goa issues. But when it is parliament election and one nation, one election, I don't think even
But-
Modi will have.
but
That's for you. Even Narendra Modi will not have time to come to Goa and even address one.
But at
public.
the end of the day, coming back to what you were saying on regional issues, do you think that the guy who's coming from outside as a star campaigner to talk and sort of excite the people to vote, are people voting because of that star campaigner?
No.
They are voting.
No.
They are voting because of the candidate in that place.
Okay.
So let's look at.
So
let's
Narendra
look-
Modi was never a vote puller according to you.
I think regional that is Lok Sabha.
No, so that is
Right.
what. So once you say
Wait, let me give you a wonderful example. Let's assume for a moment now, Savio Coutinho stands in Margao against the current strongman of Margao,
Digambar Kamath.
Digambar Kamath of the BJP, and he stands on the Congress. Okay, he's a regional guy. Now let's assume for a moment he brings Rahul Gandhi and various other people to come and campaign. Do you think people will vote because Rahul Gandhi has come, or because they will vote for him because
No,
he's
but
a good guy?
that's for state elections. You do bring national
Of course we do,
leaders
but
and,
of course
you
we do.
hold big rallies.
But
That is
finally
the
the center said what
shenanigans
takes
of
on is
election.
the local issues.
I believe people will vote for Savio because Savio is the person who's going to solve their problem. That's what I'm saying.
So you mean to say if there is one nation, one election, Savio will get elected in Marg?
I think he should. If he stands. And he works for the people.
See, but
List is
no.
big
He's a
list.
good man. Why should he not be in politics?
fine,
Okay.
we'll leave that bait for later.
No, he's a good guy. See,
Anyway, right now we are not in. At least we don't feel that one nation, one election is in the interest of the public.
Is
of
it
the
going
people.
to happen or not going to happen?
To at least to me 29 what जे प्रोजेक्ट करता की 29 म्हण म्हाका तर दिसना कित्याक जायते आसा ते मदीं आडकडी जायते आसा सो हें फरें जातलें जाल्यार कांयच हें ना आतां फक्त आमचें सामकें स्ट्रॉंग हें आसा एक आयडिया आसा की हें खंय तरी एटेन्शन डायवर्ट करपाक सामकें तेजे शिवाय आनी कांय ना
जातलें काय जावचें
हें
ना?
सदांचें
I
We will
believe-
end this discussion.
I believe that the government's intent is to bring in the one nation, one election. We have to go through the process of the democracy that we have.
जातलें काय जावचें ना?
I think the people will support it.
जातलें?
Yes.
Possible.
Not possible, I'm saying 100%.
100%.
when 29 कांय करना
That I will not tell you.
मागीर
That is a matter of the process. Now,
प्रायम मिनिस्टर आता नेक्स्ट इलेक्शन म्हणल्यार तो 80 जातलो ऑन नियरिंग 80
Oh.
तो मागीर फायनली कशें कितें तें कांय समजना
How-
तेगेलें इंटेंशन
What
म्हणटा
is Sonia Gandhi's age, by the way? I'm just curious.
See, right now our leader
Because you're
is,
talking about age, no?
Yeah, exactly. Because
So
it is his
are we
intention.
talking about age
तो
or
आपली
performance?
intention म्हणटा दाखयता जेन्ना समजला. So आज
Sonia Gandhi's age is what?
Yeah, पळय आतां
What is Sonia Gandhi's age?
Prime Minister's intention of one nation, one
What
election.
is Sonia Gandhi's
We are-
age?
we are
They're
talking about
almost the
that.
same age.
Yeah, we are talking about that. We are not talking
They're
about.
almost the same age.
we
When
are
she was the UPA
I
chairman,
mean,
she was also a
we
particular
are
age.
talking about the intention of the Prime
No,
Minister.
no, what
today's
he's trying
Prime
to
Minister.
say that current Prime Minister will be around 80 and
Yeah.
he
How-
said their leader Rahul
I-
Gandhi will not be
Exactly.
no, but at
He will
least
not be
Rahul
an
Gandhi
adolescent.
won't be able to call himself young.
He won't be an adolescent, you mean?
Yeah, that is true.
He won't be a 50-year-old.
So,
He'll be a
so one
60-year-old
nation, one
adolescent.
election is possibility according to Savio and not a possibility according to Savio. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. ओके, सो यू वॉचिंग गोवा न्यूज हब आणि आमचे डिस्कशन आशिल्लें अँड दिस इज व्हेरी इनफॉर्मल डिस्कशन. वी डोंट वॉन्ट people to fight amongst themselves because both are good friends and both share the same name. Thank you very much, in fact, Savio, and both of
It was
you.
a pleasure. I like him.
You like it.
I always like him. He knows that.
Okay, so तुम पळयतात गोवा न्यूज हा, कीप वॉचिंग.